Welcome to Module 3 of the Digital World. Satan's Counterfeit of the Spiritual Realm, Part 3. Digital Deception and Entry Points. In the previous module, we explored how the digital world actively mimics spiritual realities and subtly distorts desire, attention, and engagement. Now we examine how these deceptions enter your life, opening doors for spiritual, emotional, and behavioral compromise. Matthew 6:22-23. The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eyes are healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eyes are unhealthy, your whole body will be full of darkness. Entry points may seem small, but unchecked exposure can flood your mind and spirit with darkness. Section 1. Primary digital entry points. Social media, likes, comments, trending topics, and peer pressure subtly influence behavior, values, and desire. Entertainment media, movies, music, games, and streaming content expose emotions to manipulation and normalize compromise. Apps and notifications designed to interrupt attention, trigger curiosity, and create compulsive behavior. Virtual communities, online groups, forums, or influencer platforms mimic spiritual or social connection, but often lack accountability. Entry points exploit predictable human tendencies, attention, emotion, and desire, similar to how malware uses vulnerabilities to infiltrate a system. A person may start following a spiritual content creator online, but over time, subtle ideological or emotional manipulations shift priorities and worldview. Section 2. Subtlety of digital deception. Deception rarely enters through dramatic events. It is gradual and cumulative. Tactics include emotional amplification, fear, envy, pride, curated content that normalizes compromise, micro-interactions that build compulsive patterns. Just as Satan approached Eve subtly, appealing first to curiosity and desire, digital deception works incrementally, often going unnoticed. Genesis 3:1-6. Notice how deception first questions, then excites desire, then normalizes compromise. Digital content frequently follows the same sequential strategy. Section 3. Behavioral and emotional exploitation. Emotional triggers, envy, pride, lust, fear, and distraction are manipulated for engagement. Behavioral loops, notifications, likes, algorithmic reinforcement create habitual responses that hijack attention and emotional regulation. Physical consequences, fatigue, stress, disrupted sleep, and reduced focus. Cognitive consequences, distorted priorities, impaired decision-making, and decreased critical thinking. Continuous exposure to curated social feeds often results in comparison, anxiety, and compulsive scrolling, even when users consciously know it's just entertainment. 1 Peter 5-8. Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. Entry points may seem harmless, but the spiritual and behavioral consequences are real. Section 4. Spiritual entry points and open doors. Certain digital behaviors open spiritual doors: obsessive attachment to content or personalities, repeated exposure to pride-inducing or envy-triggering material, passive consumption of deceptive or false ideologies. These behaviors condition the mind and heart, making users more susceptible to spiritual influence. Judas Iscariot, Luke 22:3-6. Repeated exposure and internal susceptibility allowed deception and betrayal to take root. Even small, consistent behaviors can create spiritual openings, just as digital micro-moments accumulate to shape habits, desires, and priorities. Section 5. Kingdom intelligence response. Awareness of entry points is the first line of defense. Kingdom intelligence allows you to 1. Identify high-risk platforms, content, and behaviors. 2. Monitor emotional and behavioral responses to digital stimuli. 3. Establish boundaries and intentional routines to prevent subtle compromise. Proverbs 4:23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Protecting your mind and spirit begins by recognizing where influence enters. Begin tracking your digital entry points. Observe when your attention, desire, or emotion is being hijacked. Awareness today sets the stage for Module 4, where we'll examine the spiritual forces behind these deceptions and how they operate through digital entry points.